It starts with a choice: to settle for yesterday's best or to set new and exciting goals.
Ledecky, proving time and time again.
They like to put their bodies in a place that no one wants to go to.
Because to separate yourself, you need to be fearless in the pursuit of being better than you were yesterday.
Bobby Fink, one of the most dangerous men on the last 50 of any race.
When you come to a meet like this, you have to make the team first. That's a lot of pressure that these athletes go through.
Yet again, threatening her own world record.
She does have an edge. She loves working hard.
I never imagined I would break world records or go to 4 Olympics, be striving to go to a 5th. It's not going to be easy, it never is, and so I've got to keep working.
It's going to be really hard for anybody to track down Bobby Fink. Still under American record pace.
That's Bobby Fink, whatever it takes.
Gold was only the beginning. Records are meant to be broke. It's really just testing your mental capacity to actually believe you can do things. You know, why can't I be that someone who can have that record broken by 10 or 20 seconds? What's stopping me to be able to accomplish that? Why can't I do it now? I'm excited. Let's do this. We're here, 2025 Tier Pro Series in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Absolutely gorgeous pool. It's the International Hall of Fame for swimming. We got a stacked field here, tons of Olympians, tons of gold medals around. So it's gonna be an insane week of racing. It's Wednesday today. I'm feeling pretty good today. I got my baby event, the mile, tonight. I'm pretty confident about where I am. We've had some great training sessions this past couple weeks, and it's gonna be a good one.
All right, let's go. What do we got? Bobby and I do pretty much every practice together. Yeah, there's always some good friendly competition and banter, and I kind of know his strengths and weaknesses. He knows my strengths and weaknesses. We work off of those and push each other in those moments, and makes both of us better. I think a lot of my mental preparation comes from the physical preparation and the training that I do, especially as a distance swimmer. Pushes me mentally every day in a way that prepares me really well for the races.
The wait is over.
Coming up in Event 1, the 1,500 meter freestyle.
Ledecky wasting absolutely no time.
My season best coming into this meet was 15:36. Really, that was my only goal coming into this week, was to beat that time.
300 meters down, Fink continues to lead. Unbelievable times being swum by Ledecky, doing something that we have seen all too much in her career.
The coaches on the sidelines, I saw their arms waving. I saw my teammates, their arms waving. My body was running on fumes, but I was running off their energy to get the job done.
Finishing side of the pool pretty much to himself. Year 1500 winner on the men's side, Bobby Fink with a 14:54.49. And she will touch with a blistering 15:24.51, her second fastest swim of her career.
I think that set the tone for me for the rest of the week. Yeah, I'm pretty fired up. I've been training really well and feeling good going into this meet, but you still just never know. I just wanted to be a season best, which would have been 15:36, so yeah, I'm pretty ecstatic.
That was the fastest I've ever been in season, and that means a lot to me because I'm not that great in season, so it's always good to be able to throw down a pretty good time. It was pretty awesome to see what Katie did before I swam. I was like, what the hell's going on right now? But so yeah, I mean, it's been a great day for Katie and I, and you know, this place is absolutely gorgeous, and Fort Lauderdale is awesome, and it's a great pool, and you know, just having a great time here, and just putting out some good times. That was my best event, so it's nice to get my best one out of the way, and I can really just enjoy these next few days.
When I flipped at the 600 mark of the 800 free in 2012, it was like waking up from a dream. It hit me that I was at the Olympics and that I was leading the race and that I was 200 meters away from winning a gold medal. The first gold medal definitely meant a lot to me and still means a lot to me, but each one along the way has its own story and memories attached to them. I try to hold those closely, and I enjoy looking back at some of those memories and have a lot of great friendships over the years that I've developed through the sport. To me, those are more important than the medals at the end of the day. I don't think I was looking into the 2020s when I was 15 years old in 2012, so I think I've just taken it year by year, and all of a sudden it's 2025 and I'm still going and I'm still loving it. I'm still learning in the sport. I don't take these experiences for granted. I really just try to enjoy them just like I did when I first started at this level when I was 15.
To say Katie is impressive is an understatement. She is one of one. As fast as she is and as all the medals and accomplishments, she's an even better person for us as coaches and for our program. That's the best part.
It's time for the women's 400-meter freestyle final.
Bit of a rematch between two medalists, Katie Ledecky, Summer McIntosh. We're half a second under world record pace right now. Can we hold on to that pace? Will be the question. Here comes Ledecky. That is a new U.S. Open record.
I had not been 356 since 2016, the Rio Olympics, when I was 19 years old. It's kind of funny to think that a time can mean that much, and even just the difference between seeing a 57 on the board and a 56 on the board. Just seeing the 56, I couldn't believe it.
A U.S. Open record. You smiled after you touched the wall. What's going through your mind? You win that race.
I don't know if I ever thought I was going to be 356 again. Like, it just wasn't even in my head for tonight, for sure. So, I mean, all credit to Summer. It's always a great race when we're next to each other. And yeah, I'm just really happy with all the work that I put in to get to this point, and got to thank all my coaches and teammates at Florida.
I grew up with two older sisters. They really paved the way for me in a sense of swimming. I got all my competitiveness from just trying to beat them in practice and in racing the whole time. I never really even thought I could become an Olympian until 2016 when I made my first finals at Olympic trials. And from that point on, becoming an Olympian, that can be a goal of mine. Going into 2021, because it got postponed, I was still improving. So my confidence was just growing. The 800, my first medal, was kind of just shocker. Going into the last 50, I was like, I still want a medal. I don't care which one it is. The rest is history when it came to that race. And I got my first Olympic gold. And going into the mile, I was very confident about what I was able to do and was able to secure the gold in that race too.
On the 350, you fucking dusted him on that turn.
Coming up, it's the men's 400-meter individual medley.
Friday, I get to do one of my best events.
A lot of medal hardware in the middle of this pool. 7 Olympic golds between Bobby Fink and Leah Marchand.
I believe it's going to be a pretty good race. I'm feeling pretty good about what I can do.
I had the 200 free on the third day of the meet.
200 freestyle A final. We watched as Katie Ledecky broke the U.S. Open record in the 400 freestyle last night. Ledecky 27-2, only a tenth of a second back.
I knew going into that race it could have been a dogfight.
Fink with a incredible backstroke.
He kept pulling farther and farther ahead, but I never lost confidence in my last 100 capabilities.
Ledecky and Weinstein were even at that third turn. Bobby Fink will turn.
Going into the last 50, I think we both heard the crowd.
Come on, Bobby, go!
This is where those legs start getting real heavy. To the touch. Ledecky a 155.51 in second. Bobby Fink, one of the greatest freestyle closers in the sport. It's Bobby Fink.
Sold his soul for that one.
That was good. That was good. Watch.
That was fun. That was fun.
Nice swim.
How much of your soul did you lose after that race? 20%?
I just want my air back. Too many underwaters.
Backstroke was great.
It feels great, you know, it's fun. It gives me a lot of confidence for what are my real capabilities in this event.
I was still pretty happy with it. There were a few things I think I could have done a little better to clean it up. I'll take those moving forward into the rest of the summer.
Katie's really, really good at taking it one thing at a time, whether it was a race that was good or a race that she wasn't happy with. They can be disappointed in a swim for a certain amount of time, and then whether or not they like it, the next swim is coming. So they have to get ready for it no matter what. And I think Katie does a really good job on both ends of the coin of being really happy with a good swim and then getting up for the next one. And momentum's always a good thing, right? So I think Katie used a lot of momentum today. I know she might not be as happy with that swim tonight as she was the previous two nights, but that's probably of her 4 best events. It's probably her 4th best event. So I would say she definitely still has a really good swim in her tomorrow.
Well, the goal always is, fast swimming. We want to do a little bit of learning and we want to have a little bit of fun, right? We want to make sure that our race strategy, because this is kind of the last big tune-up before nationals, world championship trials. So we want to make sure that our race strategy is on point and continuing to learn. How can we get better? But we also want to have a little bit of fun. Racing's fun, swimming fast is fun. So we want to make sure that we're doing that.
So I was actually on a team with Bobby. They knew me as like Annie the swimmer before Annie the coach, especially with our professionals, Katie and Bobby and, our professional group. I don't want to like overstep my boundaries on who I am to them. Like I'm obviously a coach now at Florida, but I also know what it's like to be in their shoes. I know especially at a meet like this, they don't need to be overcoached. They know the adjustments that they need to make. And it's more so of an equal partnership than, maybe it would be with like the college kids. So yeah, you just have to like kind of make that adjustment as a coach, especially in my position. I've been like on teams with pretty much everyone in our pro group.
It's time for the 800-meter freestyle finals.
Just coming off of that great 400 and 1500 free, the 800 is kind of right in the middle there. Hopefully it can kind of fall in line with how those other swims have gone.
We're a little bit tired at the end of the week. It's been a long week of racing and some pretty tough events, but it's nothing my body's not used to, so I'm just going to come in and give it all I can.
What a way to kick off our 4th and final night. Quiet for the start, please. Fink out in a 55.60. It's going to be really hard for anybody to track down Bobby Fink, greatest American to ever swim the 800. Here comes Fink, final 5 meters, and he will touch with the win. Oh, a 750.79. When you're looking at those world record splits on top, keep in mind she's racing herself. There she goes. goes Fort Lauderdale. Katie Ledecky is all about it. Katie Ledecky, time and time again. World record! It is 11 years later and a new world record!
She's always swam fast, but we did not expect her to swim that fast, especially at this meet. It was absolutely incredible and special to see because she kind of just rewrote the history books, not only like the world record she just set, but just like she's 28 years old and you're still breaking your records and you're still going.
Katie, a world record to cap this incredible meet for you. What's going through your head right now?
I can't stop smiling. It's kind of been like that all week though, so it's not really new, but yeah, I mean, this is just so many years in the making, and to do it tonight, I mean, it's been an incredible night. I think, you know, there's always a story to each world record that I've set. I think tonight is the first one I've done it when another American has done it. So hats off to Gretchen for getting us rolling this morning and start a little world record party. And the crowd was amazing tonight. I couldn't have done it without that. And I flipped at the 750 and it was loud in here, and I just told myself I'm not letting this opportunity go to waste, and started sprinting. I'm just going to try to build off of this. I know I'm going to be trash at practice on Monday morning. I always am after a meet like this, but I know my coaches will be patient with me, and we've got 3 or 4 weeks, I think, until Nationals in Indianapolis, and just try to keep the momentum. I'm really excited with how this past week went. I exceeded some of my expectations and set myself up well for the rest of the summer. We have the Nationals in about a month in June, the trials meet for World Championships, so big meet to qualify for the World Championships. I'll be swimming all these same events, and so hopefully can take another little step forward, and hopefully another step forward at the World Championships in Singapore.
I get up around 4:50 a.m. and I got a dog this year, so I take him around the block and let him do his business and stuff. Make some breakfast. I leave for the pool around like 5:10, 5:15. We hop in the pool around like 5:50, 6 a.m., swim for 2 hours, and then go to the weight room, lift a bit. We'll lift for about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, depending on like the kind of week and cycle we're on. Go home. It's probably like 10:30 or so. That's when I take my dog, Phil, to the dog park and just like throw a frisbee or some balls in there, and he absolutely is obsessed with toys. We'll do that for about like 30 minutes, come back, and I'll just make something to eat, kind of just depending on what I need to do during the day. I'm not a big fan of napping unless I'm at a competition because I feel like I'm just wasting my day. If I end up falling asleep, it's an accident, but I'll never regret falling asleep. I leave for afternoon practice around 2 o'clock. And we'll swim from 3 to 5, go home, take Phil out to the dog park again, and he gets a lot of socializing for like an hour with a bunch of other dogs. It's become like a big routine is me with Phil. Make a dinner, about that time it's probably 7:30, and just wind down for the night and go to bed between 9:30.
It's a lot of work, eat, sleep, swim, but there are a lot of other things I like to do as well, just to keep that balance in my life. Love hanging out with my friends, my family, having good meals, watching good TV shows, reading good books, all of those things. So I try to get my mind off of swimming when I'm not in the water, but everything I do out of the water also contributes to my swimming. So I take those things seriously as well in terms of getting good recovery, good rest, good nutrition, all those things.
You know, they're good teammates, they help each other out, but most importantly, they are very consistent in what they do. I'm a big believer in focus, attitude, and effort, and they do that day to day in Gainesville.
I strongly believe everything starts with the mind. for what this sport is and the amount of training that we're able to do, I definitely believe this is more of a mental sport more than anything. Strength definitely does play a factor in like physical capabilities, but getting yourself to believe what's actually possible in this sport is more important than the others.
We're here for U.S. trials for the World Championships in Singapore. It's very important and it's very intense because in the U.S. you have to be top 2 to make the team.
National swimming for us is pretty much our second biggest meet of the year. It is our qualifying meet for World Championships, which is going to be in about 6-7 weeks. It means a lot to us and we're always trying to get ready for it, and we're always trying to be mentally sharp and physically sharp for the race.
I had the 800 free at night.
We started off with the 1500. It was an interesting race. It was a pretty painful race.
Take care, Marks.
Fink and Johnston way out in front of this field. 250 meters remaining for Bobby Fink. Once again, your national champion, lane 4, Bobby Fink. 14:48.6. That'll push him all the way up to number 5 in the world standings.
What's the 400 split gonna be? A 4:00.66. We're a second under world record pace. Katie Ledecky, all by herself, time and time again. Here's the touch. It's an 8:05.76 meet record. Look at Weinstein and Cox battling.
The 800 was my last race in Fort Lauderdale, and then having it the first race here, it kind of felt like I was just going right back into it, and I think it's, I kind of dove in and it almost felt like muscle memory, which was great. It was a great feeling, and thanks to the crowd for waving me on. I'm sorry I didn't quite get there today, but I really appreciate the support.
I don't know, I think I started sprint too early there, and I was paying for it at the end quite a lot. But I'm glad it's over and I'm on the team, so that's all that matters here.
Tonight when I dove in, I felt really relaxed coming into this race. I think, again, just from the confidence of Fort Lauderdale and just continuing to feel good in the water. And then I think when I dove in, it was just kind of like, as I said, like muscle memory, almost. Like I feel like I've watched the race a lot since Fort Lauderdale, not even always by choice. Like it would just come up on my Instagram or whatever. So I feel like I always learn something from watching it, and it helps with visualizing and just kind of keeping me in that mindset that, that kind of swim is possible.
Across the board, our athletes the first day, they were over swimming the first quarter of the race, so they kind of paid the price towards the end, as you saw the splits. It's also the excitement of the meet. They want to get qualified so they can just breathe a little bit, they can relax and then perform at a high level, because if you looked at Bobby's 15, pretty aggressive going out, and he kind of fell apart towards the end, but getting through that first event, making the team, they can kind of relax and then do their best and do what they do. I was a swimmer way back when. My first Olympic was Los Angeles, 84. Didn't do so well, but at 88 I won. I had another chance to go to 92. 88 was Korea, 92 was Barcelona. Korea I won gold in 100 fly, and in Barcelona I was third. In 2024 Olympics I was the head coach for the men for the US. In swimming, that is kind of the pinnacle of your career. A lot of pressure, it's pretty intense. The best part is the US, we have fantastic athletes, great coaches. As a coach, club coach, college coach, you want to put kids on the national team, you want to put kids on the Olympic team, and most importantly, you want to have them win gold medals.
Let's see what happens here in the 200-meter freestyle final.
They like to put their bodies in a place that no one wants to go to. Not many people like to go there.
31 Olympic medals represented in this race.
Still finding uncharted waters is Ledecky. Claire Weinstein trying to get by Ledecky and get to the wall, and the teenager will do it. Claire Weinstein, national champion.
I swam a faster time here than I did in Fort Lauderdale, which was a good improvement for the season, and came in second there.
He's going to be really good tonight.
And who's his biggest competition?
Well, you got the two Texas boys, Carson and Rex. So it'll be tight, but I wouldn't want to be those guys on going into freestyle. They're going to have to be pretty far ahead of them on freestyle because Bobby will run them.
Indianapolis. It's time for the 400-meter individual medley.
I was pretty confident I could go a pretty good time.
Come on! Come on!
Fink's gonna have to work this backstroke and get up in front of Foster and Bauer should he want to win this race.
I believe 407 was in my wheelhouse of standard to meet.
158.90 for Bobby Fink. But Bobby Fink comes off the wall and turns on the jets. Fink and Foster in a fight to the finish. It's gonna be Bobby Fink.
That's what I'm talking about!
I still believe I can go a little bit faster too if I want to. And it's just a matter of finding the right time to do it.
His fly was better, his backstroke was better, and his breaststroke was phenomenal. I think everybody in the stand knew at the 300 that Bobby was gonna hopefully beat him towards the end, which he did. Why is Bobby so good at the last quarter of the race? I think it's his intensity, and he does what needs to be done to win. Sometimes, you know, you get touched out, but the strategy is always, we win the last quarter of the race. And I preach that to all our athletes. It's a standard practice in the University of Florida. We want to dominate the last quarter of the race.
Personally, Bobby's the only athlete that I've ever coached in 27 years that has made me yell at my TV in complete amazement and joy when he won in 21 and become completely emotional in Paris. The best way I can describe Bobby is he'll do whatever it takes. A lot of people say they'll do whatever it takes. He doesn't. Whatever it takes.
I think it's really just testing your mental capacity to actually believe you can do things and believe that your human body can be pushed to that certain limit. Records are meant to be broke by someone in the future, by someone now. What's stopping me now to be able to accomplish that?
The women's 400-meter freestyle final is underway.
Yeah, so she had the day off yesterday, so she came into this morning probably a little bit more fresh than she felt the 2 days before that with the 800 and the 200 previous 2 days. She said her focus was to kind of continue to have steady legs throughout the whole race. She had some pretty nice underwaters off of the last few walls, so hopefully she can keep that up tonight and just kind of see where her threshold is and have a good swim.
Katie Ledecky getting back to Katie Ledecky form. Ledecky, 156.80. We're a tenth of a second under world record pace. Still under American record pace. Katie Ledecky needs your help, Indianapolis. Katie Ledecky punching another national championship. She's at 358.56. Weinstein, a 4:00.05.
The pressure can build and get to you. It doesn't seem to with Katie.
come in here, the big hurdle is to punch your ticket to the meet. After the IM, I think he's in a good spot for tonight. Obviously, Katie had a good 800, good 2, good 4, and again, she's in a real good spot for the 1500 tonight.
Goal is just to get my hand on the wall first and get myself on that team.
Bobby Fink doing what Bobby Fink does, swimming away from this field and dominating. About a second and a half off his own U.S. Open record pace. 15 meters to go. Bobby Fink, uncontested from lane 4, takes his 6th national title in this event with a 7:43.13.
I know I can do this. I know I can put my body through more to get the job done. I always make sure I walk out of the race knowing that I did the best I could. Despite if it's winning or losing, I'm walking out of there knowing I put my best foot forward. And that's really what's most important to me, is knowing that I did all I could.
She loves swimming. As fast as she is, all the medals and accomplishments, she's an even better person. It's from the way she approaches every practice, the way she approaches her recovery, her nutrition, every little thing she does.
It's always great to have the support of your team behind you. They've really helped me get to this point in my career, continue to compete at this level at age 28. They've always believed in me, and they know that the sport isn't easy, and they push me every day. Keep our group happy, keep our group moving forward. We make each other better, and it's a great environment every day.
The 1500 being at the end of the meet is always pretty tough, I think. I wouldn't know, but I think it's pretty tough. But I mean, she trains super hard to be able to sustain a lot like this.
She just needs to not overswim the first quarter and then work on her turns and be efficient.
We have expectations. She has expectations. It'll be fun. Grab your popcorn.
Plot continues to thicken in this incredibly exciting Toyota National Championship. Katie Ledecky, 129.6 at the 150, settling in early here. Well on her way to yet another national title. Won the 400, won the 800 this week. Silver in the 200. Ledecky finishes with a 15:36.76.
I really went for it. I took it out fast. Again, was under world record pace through the 250 and was hurting a little bit on the end, but overall still very happy with the time. Good time for me at this kind of meet. I always walk away from these trials meets not 100% satisfied. I kind of like the feeling of having maybe 1 or 2 swims that I felt like I could have been a lot better in, and that's definitely something that keeps me motivated, keeps me hungry going into the next block of work, going into Worlds. I hope that I can inspire some young swimmers, some non-swimmers as well, to find their passions and work toward their dreams, their goals. I've never stopped setting goals, and even beyond my competitive swimming days, I'm still going to set goals and work toward them. And so I hope that I can share that message, and that young people will find those passions for themselves and work toward them.
I can relax now for a couple weeks until we got to get going until Singapore this summer. Trials has always been a stressful meet, no matter if it was Olympic trials, world trials, or trials for our Pan-Pacific Championships. It's always a bit stressful because you never know who's going to break out in the scene. We had a lot of young swimmers at this meet, which sets us up really well for LA, and it's just exciting.
Hopefully I get remembered by someone who helped grow the sport and grew distance swimming. I want to be remembered as someone who's stayed late and signed little kids' autographs and everything like that. Someone who just helped the sport grow.
After the gold and after my swimming career, my competitive swimming career, I'll continue swimming. I'll continue lap swimming and swimming for exercise and all of that because I really love the water and love the feeling of swimming. I always want to stay connected to the sport, and so what that looks like right now, I'm not 100% sure, but whether that's helping coaches out, helping young swimmers out, sharing some of the things that I've learned along the way, I want to continue to see the sport progress. I want to continue to see distance swimmers chase my times, things like that. So I'll stick around the pool beyond the competitive swimming days, whenever that time comes.
I'll leave the sport when I'm satisfied. That's kind of like how I approach it at the end of the day. Am I satisfied with this one? And most of the time, like 99.99% of the time, I'm not satisfied. I know I can do better next time, and I'm gonna probably keep having that mindset throughout the whole next quad we have, and maybe in the future too. I'm still here, and I'm not going away anytime soon.
Time's ticking, and it's really going to be a great stretch over these next few years.
To me right now, it's definitely the medals, just because to me it shows you got the job done when it mattered most.
I'm starting to think about the end of my career. I can't tell you for certainty what that's going to look like yet. I think I'm leaning toward Los Angeles being my final Olympics. I think I'm still thinking, planning, visualizing what I would like the end of my career to look like. I think I want to be in a position where I'm going to be happy with it no matter what.